comic book movie. Joe, this is Tommy and Ashley from Rugrats. Happy to introduce you. And Joe, I'll ping you in the Zoom chat when you have 2 minutes left.
Thank you very much.
Of course.
Okay, it's nice to meet you guys. Hey, Tommy. Hey, Ashley.
Hi there.
First question is for Tommy. I wanted to know if there was ever any confusion because your name is Tommy, even though you play Stu. If there's ever any confusion between the other cast members over
that? There's confusion in my own brain. So the answer is yes. It takes me a second every time I get a script to kind of remember that I'm not playing the baby, nor do I have any business voicing one of those babies because those actors are so good. So yeah, it's a little bit of it takes a little bit of rewiring when I start a recording session.
To kind of ping off of that, I'm curious then, Tommy, if you were to look through the eyes of Stu, what is the, story, or like, how does he perceive things when there's a crisis going on with the babies? Does it just seem like it's a normal day?
No, that's a good question. I mean, Stu, like me, is a little panic prone. I think things go from 0 to 120 really quickly. But what I like is that it doesn't shut him down. It's Stu, and I've said this before, is kind of an eternal optimist, and despite the panic, he's immediately in the mode of figuring it out. He knows there's a solution, and I personally could probably borrow a little from that worldview.
To switch over to Ashley,
Hi.
I'm curious. Well, hi, how's it going? I don't care about your day. I just want to ask questions. For you, because your voice acting is in generally the younger realm. Is there a reason that you stick to things like Rugrats and like DC superheroes and things like that?
It's very interesting. I mean, I will tell you, I get cast more often than not as adults in the cartoon realm. I don't shoot. Look, I go out for it all, and what sticks, I joyously take it and run with it. And this is like that times a million because this is such an amazing thing to get to do. But I don't know what that is. I tend to play adults in cartoon world. I don't know. Maybe you can tell me why. I don't know. I have no idea.
Did you grow up with Rugrats or have any children that you were familiar with this before you got the position?
Oh yeah, I watched Rugrats. I was like a little bit older than some of the super small kids who were watching it, but I was still watching it and I absolutely loved it and thought it was so funny. I didn't watch a ton of cartoons, but this is one I watched, and I think that was due to how just like the real life experiences they bring to the show, how they try to be so relatable to what's going on in our lives. And but yeah, I mean, I loved it. It's a great show, and I'm still shocked that I get to do it now.
So I want to know, through your character's eyes, Didi, who is her least favorite of the Rugrats? I was gonna ask about favorite, but she has, siblings, so I'm just gonna say, who's her least favorite?
I think least favorite is strong. I'll say that she feels challenged at times by Angelica, like many of the folks do, where there will be a sense, Angelica will do something, and like I'll be, I'm voicing Didi, and there's like a restrained, like, okay, Angelica, like really trying to hold in any frustration versus show it. So I think maybe she's challenged a bit by Angelica, but still loves her.
That answer was a lesson in diplomacy, if I've ever. That was-
Good at that sometimes.
So Tommy, are you a parent? Do you have any kids that watch the show?
I have a 14-month-old. It's my only child, and she is absolutely screaming on the other side of that wall. Ashley tells me that we can't hear her, so I'm
I
not.
can't.
And there's a
Right.
nanny. She's not just alone. She is being minded. But yeah, I mean, season 2, I was welcoming a kid into my world at the same time Stu and Didi were welcoming and Dill, the new addition to the cast this year. So it was just incredible kismet that my life was running parallel to the show. It kind of added this weight to the recording that a lot of stuff came pouring out of me, anxiety and emotion and everything in between. So it was a really cool experience this last year doing season 2.
That's cool. Have you guys worked on any other projects together?
No, this is the first one.
What is the world waiting on?
You were in Casual, yeah?
Yeah, did you do this show?
No, I auditioned. They called me in like a million times, so I was just gonna say almost.
We almost worked together. We've both been doing this long enough. We probably almost worked together about a million.
Yeah. That's just what I thought of specifically.
But maybe I think we're due for another one.
Yeah, it'll happen. Why not?
So to wrap up, thank you guys so much for talking with me. But is there anything about Rugrats that I didn't ask or people generally don't ask that you'd like to include?
I mean, people maybe do ask this, but I would just say, and I mean this genuinely, that it's one of those rare shows that you really can, adults can really watch and enjoy it with kids. There's a whole tier of humor tailored for adults. I mean, it is a real sharp satire of being a millennial parent. Some stuff, let's admit it, pretty tough to watch with your kid because it's I don't know. I won't apply adjectives to it, but this one, I mean, I watch it alone. That's how much.
I was gonna say you don't have to have kids either. It's actually quite funny.
Yeah.
In just its own right.
Agreed. Okay, well, I appreciate you guys talking to me again, but that's my time. So I'm going to let you guys get bombarded by somebody else.
Thank you so much.